I just think it's ironic.
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
Motorcycle, I literally told you we were about to do the motorcycles.
Guys, welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Let's Play with me, Gary the Tuna, here as always with...
Gary the Tuna. Sorry, I forgot I'm supposed to be talking. Good to meet you guys. It's been a pleasure and a privilege.
I'm surprised I didn't catch on that I just introduced myself as Gary the Tuna.
I did, but I figured I'd let it ride, you know?
I was gonna let you be King Badger for the night and call all of the shots and yell at me for, and I would yell at you because I just mash buttons.
Oh, a swapperoo, a Freaky Friday, if you will. I am every excited.
I mean, does that mean we need to tongue kiss while the lights flicker and lightning strikes somewhere?
Yes, of course, that is exactly what it means.
That's the best Freaky Friday. Alright, so, this is episode 4, but actually it should be episode 7, though we've just lost some recordings, and...
I'm gonna put a hand up in the air, because I just realized something. You can hit buttons if you want, but I just need to talk about this real quick.
Okay.
Our recordings of playing Final Fantasy VII are so picture-perfect apt for Final Fantasy. Because this recording that we're doing is not episode 4, because that one got scrubbed and thrown out the window because it was trash. This is technically 5, right? Am I right?
No, so episodes 3 and 4 got scrubbed and trashed, so our last episode, which was posted as episode 3, was episode 5, and then the one after that got scrubbed and trashed, so this is now episode 7.
Right, but it is labeled as episode 4,
yeah,
right?
So this is episode 4, but actually it's episode 7.
Exactly, and that what brings so much joy to my heart, because this is legit Final Fantasy style. Because
I just realized we weren't on times 3. Anyway.
Well, yeah, I was doing it on purposes for a bit, but you ruined it. It's fine. No, like, it's so apt, because if you know anything about the Final Fantasy series, they released some versions exclusively for Japan, and then they released other versions for America, so Final Fantasy IV in America is actually like Final Fantasy VI in Japan, and like they've got this weird thing where their Final Fantasy numbers don't match up with the actual amount of Final Fantasies, and so our Final Fantasy episodes don't actually match up with the number of Final Fantasy recordings we've done. I just think it's ironic.
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
Motorcycle, I literally told you we were about to do the motorcycles.
Yeah, part of why the episode 6 got scrapped is because...
Hold up. Don't go. Because I've got something to say after you finish what you're saying.
Say it. I need to keep this rolling or it's going to be
great.
Boring.
So the thing is, you can take it off times 3 to do it if you want to.
I don't plan to.
But do it on times 3 if you're not a
that's
bizzle.
I was going to do it.
Alright, do it. I believe in you.
It's been so long. I don't remember what I'm even doing.
Square is left, circle is right. Oh my gosh.
Yep. Oh, I can move directions.
It's so intense on the screen.
Oh, it's so bad. This is...
We're
like,
playing without audio, so all I hear is click, 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 click.
Right. I don't normally, like, have motion sickness, but this is trying real hard.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you're not...
I'm not even drunk yet.
I'm not gonna lie, you're not doing as bad as I thought you would be doing.
I don't remember this part being difficult.
Well,
don't...
no, it's not difficult, but you put it on ×3 and things accelerate.
It's bad.
Got him. Alright, we're going around turn 3, and Cloud takes the inside corner, getting pushed by the car by Barrett and what's-her-face. Alright, coming around the final turn. Oh! Wow, this is a lot shorter than I remember it being. I don't think it's even boss time. I think it's just cutscene time, right?
No, it's boss fight. So...
Oh, okay.
I honestly think that you played the remastered edition most recently, and that you confused that with this version.
I did, yes.
And, like, you know, obviously no offense meant or anything like that, but...
Wow, tell me how you really feel about me.
Oh, poop, I feel like I wasn't supposed to attack it while something was going on. We were supposed to defend.
Yeah, you were probably supposed to defend there. But I mean, like...
Well, at least I got one yeah.
If you ever feel like you're about to lose, click the right thumbstick and put it on cheat mode.
No, that's for lames.
Well, yes.
I mean, we have admitted we're lames.
Oh, no, I just meant you in general. Oh my gosh! God invented defending for a reason.
Yeah, I don't defend. That's also for lames.
Oh my gosh. You also have heals. I'm pretty sure it's on Barrett because he's a little bizzle.
What just happened? Why isn't it? Oh, that was weird.
Wasn't that weird? Oh, wow, you actually killed him before he killed you. Well done. Throw up the fists.
Alright, here you go. You can control it.
Alright, I get to
I need to pour some booze in me.
Ooh, I get a star pendant.
I got the star pendant. I just gave it to you.
You passed me the rock, which means that I received the star pendant.
Well, yeah, I got it, but I gave it to you.
He has to settle a score, boys.
Boys.
Sounds like we're on a revenge mission. Let's go.
We're on a mission from God.
Barrett, nobody cares about the planet. Doesn't matter if it's your world or ours. We don't give a... Oh, sorry, shouldn't say that. Shouldn't give a heck. A shoot.
Don't worry. I'm a functional editor.
Well, you got that going for you.
Right. It's about all I got going for me, but I got that.
Goodbye, Midgard. Hey, we're finally outside Gate 7. Let's do some healing. Oh, I was wrong. Barrett's not the healer. Who's the healer? Cloud?
Usually the lady. What's her name? Tifa.
Aerith. But, yeah, nobody has any magic. Did you unequip all of our...
No,
You unequipped all of our materia?
I didn't.
Thanks, Obama.
We were way too inebriated the last time we played. It was bad. It was not.
Yeah, it was,
not good.
It was a thing. You know, it was a thing. Alright, Cloud gets fire. Because, of course he does. Ooh, cover? Cover sounds cool. We'll put that on Barrett, though. Barrett just needs to take it to the face. Are you going to talk about something?
No, sorry, I'm trying to make sure that I've got the alarm set so that we know when it's time to end the recording.
Checks out.
Because, like... Oh, yeah, so in case you've noticed, there are a couple of changes to this episode. The audio is probably a little different. We're using a different recording rig. And you probably noticed the new intro video. So with that, any of our fans out there who have music that they would like to showcase and would like us to slap over that intro video
I have tools.
For a recommendation, because I'm sorry, we got no money. Like, right now, all I can offer is just like the exposure. So I'm not asking for anything, I'm just asking if you would like to have us show some of your work, absolutely feel welcome to get in touch with us. If not, no harm, no foul, and I'm sorry if asking bothered you. Anyway, though, so I was gonna say something. Yeah, so new recording. With the new setup, I can't see where we're at in the time frame to be like, hey, we need to wrap this up. So that's why A, my phone went off, and then B, I was not paying attention.
Sounds hot.
Alright, do you have our materia in there yet?
Yeah, I just had to put the appropriate materia on the appropriate characters. Because Cloud is a beast that can sense things and hit them with fire and sometimes ice.
Beastman.
Barrett's a tank and he just sits there and lets people hit them because that's all he's good at. And Tifa is my bad Abyssal. She's got the all lightning, she got the stealing, she's just the...
Man, when do you hit the golden... I was about to call it the golden chocobo, but the gambling...
The golden dome
Midgar
or something?
Vegas.
Yeah.
The golden platter?
Ooh, that might be correct.
Or disc? I feel like it was like golden something that is disc shaped.
Gold, yeah, I don't know.
I'm sticking with the golden pie plate. Anyway, so
Anyway, we don't get that for a while, I believe. Like, we don't get... Like, we're now just starting Disc 2, and I don't think we're going to get
Disc 2 yet.
I think leaving Midgar is like... Alright, then I don't know. I'm just a botanist, I guess.
The first time you have to pop in Disc 2 is when you go to the golden pie plate. But then you're still on Disc 1. The first time you go to the golden pie plate. Because that one's really just a, hey, this is what happens once you open up the rest of the world. But then you're still on Disc 1 for another while. The only reason I know that is I only barely got off of Disc 1 when I played through this a million years ago. And my Disc 2 was scratched, so it took me a long time to get it fixed, which is why I forgot what was going on with my save, and then I just never played it again.
Sounds good. Alright, we've got to decide on the party. I want my number 1 squeeze, but we also need a healer, but that will create a love triangle, and I know you're a big fan of Red 13.
We named him something. Tony, I think, but spelled Red 13. You insisted we rename him. That's actually in the previous episode, not the one that got scrapped, but the one that got posted.
Didn't we change their names?
No.
Oh.
You told me I should, and I said, okay, we'll name him that, but we'll spell it Red 13.
That's funny.
Dude, honestly, for the right now, I think Barrett and Tifa is always a solid combo.
Oh, Barrett's trash. She's automatically out.
Okay, then go Red 13,
I was
Tifa,
gonna say,
Red 13,
I will bring Red 13 because I feel like I've never really used him before.
He was very mediocre in my original playthroughs.
Me too, which is why I never used him, which is why I've never used him before.
And, Tifa's got more HP.
Aerith's
and similar levels of MP.
Spoilers! She's going to marry and settle down, and we won't be able to use her later in the game, so...
She's gonna drink some power thirst and have 1 million babies.
Also, as much as I appreciate Tifa for the 2 things she brings to the table, I never actually really used her because she's a little garbo.
No, Tifa's pretty solid. Honestly, in the early days, Tifa and Red 13 were generally how I rolled. I'll admit, that's just because I didn't like Aerith's pants when I was a kid.
The hammer pants?
Yeah, I'm still kind of opposed to hammer pants. That one.
I mean, that is definitely an opinion to have.
Right, that is an opinion, and I have it. I don't know where we go next.
You know, what's funny is now I gotta set up my materia all over again.
Right, well, I was gonna say Cloud should be fine. And actually, if I recall correctly, everybody should have transferred over appropriately. That's how it went when the party swapped on us.
Oh no!
So yeah, you gotta build our healer.
Barrett's still got my materia.
You know, I brought that up the last time we had to do this, and you're like, that doesn't happen in this game. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was wrong. And I was like, okay, cool.
Where's the party at? Am I just no longer having healing materia because Barrett has
and
it?
her aren't available to party currently. They just took off.
Yeah, why didn't they give me my stuff
Well,
back,
go to your
man?
materia, see what happens.
Okay.
Oh, poop. Yeah, pull it up real quick. Huh, weird. What is Tifa
Hold on,
have?
it might be at the bottom. Let's find out. Next time on Dragon Ball Z! Abridged, yes, of course. That's really the only way to watch Dragon Ball.
I don't want to argue with you, but I did not care for what little Dragon Ball Z I watched.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually watched Dragon Ball, and it was pretty cool, but I was like 9 years old.
Well, I'm not saying it was bad by any means. It just wasn't my jam. I wasn't actually into anime that much in those days. I mean, like, mostly because it was just Dragon Ball and stuff like that. When I truly...
You stole my tent? Give it back. Alright, sorry, continue.
It's cool. And he ran away.
Oh no, I put his dizzle in the dirt.
Don't think he did.
I said I got my tent back. Also,
Okay.
×3 applies for camera as well. This is
Nice.
super cool.
Yeah, so the anime that I wound up watching that really got me into anime, and I'd watched a few, I'd seen a couple of Miyazaki movies, and I watched, Ninja Scroll, if you ever saw it.
Oh, I have dabbled in the Ninja Scroll.
So when I was a kid, the main selling point for it was the hee-hees and hoo-hoos. But then I rewatched it as an adult when I was sharing it with a friend of mine who wanted to get into anime and had never heard of that. And I was just like, oh, let me share with you something wildly inappropriate. And the story wasn't bad, actually. Like,
yeah, it was pretty okay.
So, like, you know, it was good. That's not why I was watching it when I originally watched it. But that was not what got me into anime. No, it was... So I used to do this thing. When I was growing up, I grew up poor. We didn't have cable. So anytime we'd go out of town, though, we'd obviously stay in a motel. No big, whatever. And I would literally pack a VCR with me. I had my own VCR. I mowed lawns to have this thing. I would pack a VCR with me and 3 blank 8-hour long record video cassettes, and I would pop them in, like right before we'd take off to do whatever we were in town to do. Like, maybe it was like going to an amusement park or something like that, or skiing or something. Usually because... My mom used to play those like call-in games on the radio, and you know where they're like, if you're the 13th caller, answer this trivia question.
Yeah, I remember that back in the day.
Yeah, and like earn a free trip to Discovery or whatever. So we do that, and before we go out and do that thing, I would pop this in, set up the cassette, put it on a station that I liked. So a lot of times I was Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network. Or if I was loaded up on shows, I would put it on for, like, MTV or VH1. You know, like, and I never cared about the commercials. I actually, to date, still have a deep and abiding appreciation for commercials because a good commercial tells a story. Not many good commercials out there these days, but they still exist. Actually, oh man, I should totally send a link, or put a link in the description. I might put a link in the description for... the 2019 Japanese commercial compilation that Gary and I sat and laughed at for the entire video.
Oh, it was my childhood in a box.
No, 2019, the Japanese one.
I thought you meant the other
1990s
compilation
one, which was
of
also
the 90s
good.
we watched.
Well, okay, I'm going to tell that story, then I'm going to get back to what I was saying. Hopefully. So, we watched this 2019 all-Japanese commercials compilation, you know, and obviously us as Americans, as Yanks, if you will, it was... I spent the whole time just being like, you know, man, I bet this commercial is so much better than just being, like, goofy if we had any level of cultural appropriation for it. And Gary was like... I don't know, man, this is pretty weird. And I started pointing out some stuff. He was like, no, wait, I follow. And while we're doing this, my nephew was just like, no, there's no way that cultural blah, blah, blah will make any of this matter. And I'm like, buddy, Toast. You guys have heard Toast if you watch my videos. Let me show you. So I pulled him up all of these 90s, like a compilation, like 2.5 hour long compilation of 90s commercials that Gary and I sat and laughed at the whole time also. And these were all American 90s commercial compilation, or American commercials in this compilation. And, I mean, it was just so ridiculous. And I remembered 80% of them word for word. Because you just did not exist in the 90s without having heard all of these jingles ever. Anyway, so, with that, both those commercial compilations are fun to watch, at the very least. Not necessarily will they add meaning to your life, but they're fun to watch. So I didn't mind recording the commercials, in that when my mother or father would record anything off of television, they would sit there and police the remote so that they could pause it before the commercial started and unpause it right after. I never cared. I would just record 8 hours straight of television while we were out skiing or in a water park or whatever, you know. And when we'd go home, that VCR was mine, so I just had these racks of 8 hours of television, whatever channel, and I'd just note, like, the channel and highlights on it if there was any particular show or whatever that I liked. And one time, I think we'd gone to Silverwood, which, if you're in the Northwest, is like an Idaho theme park, and it's a lot of fun. I can't say it's the greatest. It's the best one I've ever been to. And this particular VHS had, like, the 3rd episode of Cowboy Bebop on it, the 4th episode of Trigun on it, and the 1st episode of Fooly Cooly. And I'm telling you right now, the 1st episode of the 1st season of Fooly Cooly was what made me, like, get so into anime. It was crazy. It made no sense. It was all over the board. And it spoke to my teenage soul on a level that I can't put into words. It literally sang the song, my heart song, as an anime. I think that was a good ramble.
I think that's pretty good. Did you talk about the 90s commercials?
Not any of the commercials specifically.
Oh, okay.
I talked about how it happened.
I don't know. I was kind of drifting in and out.
I just hope you know what we're doing in the game. Because I think on the next episode... Did he just slap you and disappear?
Spoilers. No, we're going crazy.
Oh, and then falling asleep?
Yes.
Did he just go crazy then fall asleep? Oh, man.
Grunkle Stan, why you gotta be so cray-cray?
Grunkle Stan, why you actin' so cray-cray?
Tomato potato.
Okay, but it's ACCIN apostrophe. That's literally how it was captioned.
Grunkle Stan, why you gotta be so cray-cray?
Oh, man, I need to rewatch Gravity Falls. I've heard that since it moved to Disney Plus, there might be some new episodes in the works, but I don't know. And I'd be lying if I said that didn't make me way too excited. Gravity Falls is straight up one of the best cartoons of the modern day. And I'll fight anybody who wants to say otherwise. I'm not saying it's the greatest. I'm not even going to say it's my favorite. But it is one of the best in the modern day.
It's pretty solid.
Right? Well, I like how it's not condescending. And I like how it is... Like, it's still for kids. But it's not... It's not condescending. And it's entertaining for adults that are into good stories. You know, I mean, like, there's not a whole lot of, like, Shrek level of innuendo. And I'm not pooping on Shrek here. I loved all of those movies. And it's like, they didn't really go filthy for the Gravity Falls stuff. And I really think they just nailed it as far as a show goes. Alright, so we're going crazy. I honestly haven't even been looking at the TV. I've been staring at the side of Gary's head. 'Cause he's so pretty.
So, yeah, at this point in time, we're having a flashback about visiting a Mako reactor near our hometown, where we met Tifa when we were kids, and we're telling the story, except we keep going to all these places, and things are getting weird, and we're not remembering things like we thought we remembered things. I don't know, like, I can't remember. Like, should we talk about spoilers? Should I, like...
Yeah, at this point, I'd just go ahead and spoilers. Like, this game is... I was about to say 20 years old, but I realize it's closer to 25 years old.
Right.
And, screw you, I'm not that old.
Alright, so we'll throw up a spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear spoilers, I will...
Skip forward a segment of time.
Skip forward a segment of time. Anywho, so basically, Cloud, right?
I'm rifling through Tifa's bedroom, apparently, and found her orthopedic underwear.
Oh my gosh.
I was just trying to find out what I could steal. Yeah, it's true. Anyway, go ahead and keep telling me what we're doing while I loot my
it
memories.
turns out, like, Cloud was never a first-class soldier, right? Like, all of his memories of being a soldier were actually some other dude's memories, and Cloud was just a grunt, right? And so, like, this flashback stuff, why he's going crazy, is because this didn't actually happen to him. It was a different soldier. And so, he's not actually remembering, like, talking to his mom and stuff. He's just going crazy.
I totally forgot that about the story. Oh, man. There have been a few times I've almost dropped some references to, like, part of the spoiler I remember. But I totally forgot that a lot of Cloud's memories are 100% implanted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to personally get too deep into it because I'm sure I'm going to be wrong, but
yeah. But okay, end of spoilers, I think. So you can tune back in now.
I'm just deeply amused I got to steal Tifa's underpants. Her orthopedic underpants.
Fictional orthopedic underpants.
I don't know what houses you went into.
Yes.
Oop. Is this one you went into?
No.
One in the chest. So is Tifa the one that, like, because every time I've looked up, there's been a dialogue box, so...
Yeah, we're at the talkie-talkie part of the game.
Well, I meant when you were popping through, like, before you'd go crazy, was Tifa the one who was, like, talking in your head the whole time, or...
I don't know what you mean.
Oh, like, while it was flashing and you were all over the room in different places.
Oh, no, that was my mother. Our mother. Cloud's mother.
Well, not Cloud's, but the person whose memories Cloud's are.
No, it was Cloud's mother. This is Cloud's hometown, but what we're doing right now kind of happened, but didn't happen, right? So, basically, the dude who was actually here was Zack, who was the first class soldier, but he didn't actually go into Cloud's house or go into Tifa's house, which is why when you first walk in, the dialogue box was like, were you actually here? And you could say yes or no. And so when you went in, it's not his memory of it, it's just Cloud's, like, subconscious creating false memories. Which is why we're not seeing a clear transition of story when talking to Cloud's mother. It's just bits and phrases and snips and snippets and shit.
So, I've never watched Lazy Town. I don't know if you've ever watched any
I've never even heard of it.
Have you ever seen any of the memes? Well, that's like that pink-haired girl, and I showed you Kate
Oh, right, that one pink-haired girl from that one thing, the only thing out there that has a girl with pink hair.
The live-action one from, like, the mid-90s, or not mid-90s, mid-aughts, I think. Anyway, though, there are a bunch of memes pertaining to, like, this one dude who looks kind of like a live-action Waluigi meets Snidely Whiplash.
Okay, I've seen that.
Yeah, so that's from Lazy Town, apparently.
Okay.
Apparently. Tell me that this character back here doesn't kind of look like a representation of him. Like, I rolled up on it, was like...
I mean, don't get me wrong, that is an adorable bunch of polygons, but I could not say that that is Dude Face from Lazy Town.
Alright, so we didn't go in the mansion yet. We'll come here later.
I don't even know where you gotta go. This is an RPG, man. You just talk to everybody.
Big-headed young kid. I'm going up the mountain. Mount Niblets. Oh wait, so it's not time for me to go up the mountain? Apparently I need to do something else.
Go to the left house. That's the inn, I think, where Sephiroth went. I think we just gotta go talk to him once we're done.
I want a shot of Sephiroth and a monster. Take my picture. Oh man, I don't want a lot for Christmas. All I want is you.
Oh my gosh.
Best
Anybody
roast
watching
ever.
this is going to be so excited watching me talk to these people and then watching you talk to all the same people.
I'm sure. Well, that's why I was like, where am I going? What am I doing? Because I wasn't paying attention while you were doing it. I was ranting about how much I love television and anime. Anime. 128 students.
What a precipitous number. A good fortune number. You know what I'm talking about? There is a P word.
Prosperous.
Kind of.
Then it might be precipitous.
I think it might be precipitous.
I'm not gonna lie, when first I read that, I didn't see students, I saw children, and I was just like, I mean, you do you, bro.
Right?
That's a lot. But look at how...
Thank God they live in a world without child support, am I right?
Where's Sephiroth? He's upstairs. I'm gonna go talk to Sephiroth. I found him.
No, precipitous is not correct. It means dangerously high or steep, or done suddenly and without careful consideration.
Are you sure it's precipitous?
Precipitous.
Okay. I was
think
gonna say,
what
like,
I
with the
mean
first one
is
sounded like precarious.
Serendipitous.
That sounds right. Which is dreamlike, I believe.
Serendipitous, occurring or discovered by chance in a happy or beneficial way.
Okay. So I was definitely wrong, obviously, but...
A dreamlike way?
I knew a person who used to use something... Oh, it was phantasmagorical, I think, or something like that. But he also used serendipitous. This was at Taco Bell. I used to work at Taco Bell with this kid who liked to wish people a weird kind of day, like a weird way to say have a good day. Mm-hmm. And he used to like to say have a serendipitous day to people, which is a good way to get some real weird looks in the Taco Bell drive-thru. Yeah, let's get some sleep.
Let's do it. I mean, we've already stolen Tifa's orthopedic panties.
Hey, we're just trying to bring them into the future to help her spine.
I thought those were used for people with diabetes. It's like, don't you wear the orthopedic socks for so your feet don't fall off because you got diabetes?
Orthopedic means that it focuses on bone health in general. So, like, if you've got, like, an orthopedic back brace, it's to maintain appropriate bone alignment. It's...
So either I'm wrong and they're not called orthopedic socks.
No, they are.
Or they...
Orthopedic socks are different from orthopedic underwear. I don't know what an orthopedic underwear is.
So you're saying that the orthopedic socks are for diabetes that have blood sugar problems for bones.
Here, you take the rock and I'll explain this. So,
Tell me a story, Papa.
Right. The orthopedic socks have a, like, firmer wrap around the leg. So what it's doing is it's helping your veins to not, like, let the blood pool in your feet. Because as a diabetic, your blood pressure is weird.
Okay. I'm following with you so far.
I'll admit... Actually, they probably aren't called orthopedic socks.
I was going to say, then why are they orthopedic socks?
See, I think we're confusing orthopedic shoes and, what can I think of? I'm literally going to type into Google diabetes socks, and my FBI agent's just gonna be like, that boy an idiot.
Right.
Diabetes sucks. Why can't I think of what they're called? Socks for circulation. Circufiber. They're literally just referred to as diabetic socks in here. Why can't I know it's not orthopedic, though. Because, yeah, though, orthopedic shoes would be for your foot bones.
Tifa!
That's not Tifa, that's your guide. Oh, wait, did you hire Tifa as the guide?
Our guide is Tifa, because she knows the mountain better than anyone.
Why is she wearing that dumb hat?
Pay attention. Jeez, read a book.
Compression socks.
Compression socks. There we go.
Which, for the record, I still hadn't found. All I found was all day.
Every day.
All day diabetic over the calf sock. Oh man, and I read something as catheter sock, and I was like, I don't want to know what that is, and I'm not clicking that link. Anyway, though, yeah, so compression socks help to compress your veins to keep the blood, too much blood from pooling, basically.
I would appreciate if you spoke with the camera, not at me, because I'm aware of what the for. And it just seems like you're shouting at me, looking at me like I'm an idiot.
I mean, like, I feel you, but that's not my intention. Oh my god, Sephiroth over here playing Quake 3?
Dude, Sephiroth over here just...
Didn't Quake 3 come out in, like, 05? Didn't Quake 3 never come out?
No, well, it had to come out. There was a Quake 4 that I played on the Xbox One. I think it was the first game I played on the Xbox One. Had to have been in the early aughts. 2003, maybe? So, Quake 3 definitely came out.
So,
Quake
I played a little bit of Quake 2.
Quake 3 came out, I want to say, in, like, 99.
Nailed it. I was going to say, you want another guess?
Oh, well, I said Quake 4 came out in 2003.
Oh, I thought you were saying Quake...
No,
I thought
Quake
you were saying Quake 3 had to come
like
out in
99.
2003.
Let's go, boys!
Nailed it!
Yes,
No, I haven't played Quake
me,
since... there used to be a pool hall in this town that was called the Boys and Girls Club, but there were never any adults that I ever encountered there. Like, I wasn't part of the Boys and Girls Club or anything like that.
Are we talking like some old school, like, Slow Ride, like that movie, that Slow Ride with the hippies and stuff, the Dazed and Confused, like pool hall, like rec hall, like
not
high
quite.
School kids hanging out, drinking beer, and getting up to shenanigans, spanking each other?
Kind of, but not quite. So, once again, this was allegedly a Boys and Girls Club, which was what it was called. Which, you know, was like this place for, like, teens to go and hang out and be teens. But there was supposed to be adult supervision in them, which is, from what I understand, is why ours shut down. In that, like, an adult would show up at some point and lock it up, and then an adult would show up later on at some point and clean it up and lock it, or clean it up and lock it up, and he would have shown up, or they would have shown up earlier to open it up. But I don't know. I was never part of the Boys and Girls Club, blah, 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 which was like a legit actual club. Anyway, though, so in this building that was called the Boys and Girls Club, there was like this little stage thing, and I mean, if you had a band, you could perform there. There was like this little room off to the side that had like 7 computers in it that were all kind of poop. So in like 2002, they were running like Windows 98 and running Quake 2 in this permanent LAN party that the computers were just on. Which was, so that was the last time I played a Quake game, was then. And there were 2 pool tables in the back that looked like somebody had just been maintaining them with like a hedge trimmer. They were not good. But me and my disreputable friends, because I mean, of course, I rolled with the disreputables. I mean, not the ones that were generally in trouble, but the ones that you would look at and just be like, they're gonna be in trouble. We did luck out and just always managed to get away with a lot of stuff we did. I've got a funny story about that, but we'll probably save that for the next episode or the next time I decide to get really excited about a thing. But yeah, so I played Quake 2 in this boys and girls club that was a building. Oddly enough, the location still, I mean, obviously still exists. But the building has been knocked down in, like 5 different businesses since then, at least. I don't even remember what all's been in that spot. I'll point it out to you someday, Gary. I almost just called you Tuna. I mean, which at least would be fitting. As opposed to referring to you as television. That was still a weird night.
I am an individual of many names.
I am the man with no name. Zap Brannigan, nice to meet you.
I am doing my best to find a save point. Not gonna lie.
It's fine. We've still got some time before we should wrap this up. And I think there's gotta be one, like, right up around this
One
this next
would
corner.
assume this has just been one massive cutscene. And places where I can't do any.
Oh, you're still up top.
I
Oh, wait, come back.
Oh my god, are you kidding? I was wiggling the stick. I was stuck in a corner, man. I had to use the D-pad to get out of there. It's like I was back in Nam.
Back when you were playing video games in Vietnam in that really cheap video hall that only had NES controllers. Man, what was the first controller with a joystick? Do you remember?
First controller with
Dude, I
a
think
joystick.
we should not pause this to tell a story.
Probably going to be the N64.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think you're right. Well, I mean,
that's
as per controller.
Well, I mean, outside of arcade cabinets.
Atari had a joystick.
Did it?
Yeah.
And
I would assume that, man, we need to, like,
well, you can't just mash buttons. We gotta keep track of the story, man.
Right. So we've got about 10 minutes before we need to wrap it up.
Well, I have a story that I want to tell, but apparently you're not going to take the job at controller guy seriously.
Yeah, we're at a bad point for that. Because, like, this... Do we have to... Like, I don't know. I tried. Oh, hey, there you go. Now it'll let you do something there.
See, you gotta be controller guy and just mash buttons on things, man.
I did that, and you yelled at me and took the controller.
Well, you gotta read what it says.
I was mashing.
Because if you have the controller, it's your job to remember the story, so that way when the other person's like, what's going on, you can tell them what's going on, instead of having me run around Hojo's laboratory for 3 hours on recording before I finally have to look up a walkthrough.
That's not on recording anymore.
Right.
We
never happened. Never happened.
I got your back, baby.
Episode 5.
Never happened.
Never happened.
Oh man, join our Patreon to watch the episodes that never happened.
Pay us money to watch the episodes that are so bad we didn't release them.
I was gonna say, if it were an option with those, that would be the $- tier, where we give you $1 and you watch them.
Right.
They're that level of bad. Also, we clearly don't have a Patreon yet.
Okay, real quick. We were talking about controllers. I will hit buttons and try to read and try to tell a story all at the same time.
Okay.
So,
carry me, senpai.
Like, this is so hard. I'm 2 seconds in, it's already hard. So, back in the day, I was a young boy, was grounded from playing the Sega by my madre, my mother, of all people, would do this to her favorite child. Anyway.
I don't think we named her in the first episode.
I don't even
Betty?
know.
Doesn't matter.
Probably.
One of these days we'll learn our own canon. Anyway, sorry, continue.
So, thank God it's a cutscene. I can just talk now. So, I was grounded from playing the Sega. And to ground us from playing the Sega, she would take the controllers away from the Sega and hide them, because without controllers, how is one to play a Sega? Oh, the poor fool. Didn't understand the desperation in young and the ingenuity that would come about. So,
why?
I have no idea.
Also, is Gary your final form?
That is but one title I hold.
Alright.
Anywho, so I was a younger individual.
Save and rest.
Oh, thank God. Younger individual, right? With just a Sega and games, no controller to play with them with. If you have ever seen a Sega before, you will notice that they are not like the normal ports you see today. They are not like USB ports that are basically hollow rectangles. They are not other ports. They
had a very distinctive port shape. As did all of the consoles.
Are literally an opening with metal pins sticking out, and then your controller plug is a hard plastic thing with a bunch of holes in it, and you got to match the holes up with the pins. That should be enough, right? To give you kind of an idea to picture in your head. Okay, so I've got approximately 15 pins lined up in this whole opening cavity. 2 rows of them. 2 rows of pins. So we'll say 14. Make an even number. Easier to picture, right? Well, young Gary...
Yeah, just young Gary.
Young Gary found that if you turned the Sega on and got the game going, you could take a butter knife and use the metal of the butter knife to touch certain pins together to make certain actions happen on the screen. And so, through trial and error over many hours, he discovered that using a fork in tangent with a butter knife would let him play Sega games. Maybe not well, but he could play Sonic the Hedgehog and other games by meticulously touching certain prongs together. Oh my golly, was my mother so mad when she walked in after grounding me from video games to find me with her kitchen utensils, stabbing them inside of a Sega, and playing anyways.
I found a piano.
Oh man, those were good times.
Well,
and she wonders how I am the person that I am today.
One of these days we'll have to tell him the Snapchat story. But on that note, I think it's time for us to sign out, so don't forget you can follow me on Twitter at KingBadgerSays.
And always remember that Badger is my proxy, so hit him up if you ever want to know anything about me.
I'm the cuter of the two of us.
I mean, you are not wrong.
I was just going to let them imagine what we looked like, and I assume they would draw me as the goblin. Anyway, do you have any final words? Any words for Betty? Anything?
Oh, do I have any final words?
Yeah, what are your final words, son? You're on death row now.
Nope.